In this podcast episode, the hosts have a conversation with Mr. Who's the Boss, a popular tech YouTuber with over 16.3 million subscribers and 4.1 billion views. They discuss his journey on YouTube, his approach to storytelling, and how he has built a successful tech community. Mr. Who's the Boss shares that his initial motivation for starting his YouTube channel was his passion for tech and gaming. He fell in love with smartphones and wanted to share his knowledge and expertise with others. He started by making tutorial videos and was pleasantly surprised when his first video received thousands of views. This gave him the confidence to continue creating content. The conversation then shifts to the challenges of being a YouTuber and the importance of perseverance. Mr. Who's the Boss explains that it took him 6 to 7 years of consistently creating content before he started making money from his channel. He emphasizes the importance of loving what you do and being willing to put in the time and effort, even without immediate financial rewards. The hosts also discussed the competitive nature of the tech genre on YouTube. Mr. Who's the Boss acknowledges that there are many other tech reviewers on the platform, but he believes that his unique storytelling style and relatability set him apart. He strives to create videos that feel like a part of a larger story, with ongoing jokes and references that create a sense of community among his viewers. The conversation then delves into Mr. Who's the Boss's approach to storytelling and video production. He explains that he pays close attention to data and viewer feedback to understand what resonates with his audience. He aims to make his videos informative, entertaining, and relatable, and he constantly evaluates each sentence and joke to ensure that it adds value to the overall story. The hosts also discuss the evolution of Mr. Who's the Boss's videos over time. He started with lo-fi, unedited videos and gradually transitioned to a more polished and visually advanced style. He credits his attention to detail and his willingness to experiment with different techniques for the success of his videos. He also mentions the importance of being authentic and true to oneself, as viewers are drawn to genuine personalities. The conversation then turns to the business side of YouTube. Mr. Who's the Boss explains that in the early years, his income primarily came from AdSense, as brand sponsorships were not as prevalent. However, as his channel grew, he started receiving more sponsorship opportunities, which significantly increased his revenue. He also discusses the changing landscape of the sponsorship market, particularly since the pandemic, with more brands looking to promote their products through YouTube creators. Towards the end of the podcast, Mr. Who's the Boss shares his experience with hiring editors and delegating tasks. He admits that it was initially challenging to let go of certain aspects of video production, as he wanted to maintain control over his content. However, he realized that working with a team could significantly increase productivity and revenue. He advises other creators to create detailed documents outlining their style and preferences to ensure consistency when working with editors. Mr. Who's the Boss starts by talking about the importance of brand association and the value it brings to his channel. He mentions that he prefers working with big companies that align with his brand and values. He also expresses his dislike for affiliate marketing, as it doesn't capture the full value of his brand association. The guest then reveals the origin of his channel name, stating that it is a play on the question of who is the boss of technology. He explains that his channel aims to empower people to use technology for their benefit and make informed decisions. The conversation then shifts to the recipe for a Mr. Who's the Boss video. He explains that the format has evolved over the years, with a focus on concise and enjoyable content. He mentions the importance of storytelling and guiding the viewer through the video, rather than bombarding them with excessive editing. The guest also discusses the role of his team in creating high-quality content. He emphasizes the importance of attention to detail and the need for efficient processes and templates. He mentions that his team consists mainly of editors, with a writer/researcher and a setup assistant. He also talks about the division of the team into two groups, one focused on efficiency and quick video production, and the other on non-time sensitive content. When asked about his natural organizational skills, Mr. Who's the Boss credits his team member, Josh, for his eye for detail and the role he plays in the editing process. He also mentions that his fiancée, Drisha, has recently joined the team as a general manager, bringing her detail-oriented approach to the operations. The guest discusses the challenges of managing a growing team and the need for a general manager to handle the increasing workload. He mentions the importance of feedback and self-awareness in improving his leadership skills. He also talks about the balance between being a creator and a CEO, and the challenges of managing both roles effectively. The conversation then delves into the guest's personal life and the decision to open up about it on his channel. He explains that it was a gradual process, driven by the positive response from his audience. He believes that sharing personal stories helps viewers connect with him on a deeper level and adds value to his content. Mr. Who's the Boss also talks about his future plans for the channel, beyond just subscriber count. He mentions the goal of making people make better decisions with their tech and hints at potential projects like a book, podcast, and tech products. He emphasizes that his focus is not solely on monetary gains but on creating meaningful content and experiences for his audience. The guest continues by discussing the importance of work-life balance and the benefits of living and working with his family. He expresses gratitude for their support and the opportunity to give back to them through his channel's success. Mr. Who's the Boss starts by explaining why watch time is important to him. He compares it to telling a story and wanting the other person to be engaged and listening. If a video has low watch time, it means that the viewers are not paying attention or enjoying the content. He wants people to be satisfied and have a positive experience while watching his videos. He also emphasizes the importance of creating a human connection with the audience. He wants viewers to feel a sense of satisfaction and goodwill towards his videos, even if they are not optimized for watch time. He believes that this long-term play will lead to more engagement and loyalty from the audience. The conversation then shifts to the difference between videos with different view counts. Mr. Who's the Boss explains that they have a strong idea of how a video will perform before releasing it. They create different types of videos for different reasons, such as sponsored content or passion projects. He also mentions that the wider the topic, the more potential viewers they can reach. However, he wants to focus on creating quality content that leaves a lasting impression on the audience, rather than just chasing views. The host and Mr. Who's the Boss discussed the concept of human satisfaction and the importance of the ending of a video. They want viewers to remember how they felt at the end of a video, as it can influence their decision to watch future videos. Mr. Who's the Boss believes that optimization is important, but it is not everything. He wants to create a positive and satisfying experience for his audience. The conversation then delves into the business side of Mr. Who's the Boss's channel. He mentions that his revenue primarily comes from AdSense and sponsorships. They have a rule for accepting sponsorships, which is that they only work with brands or products that Mr. Who's the Boss would talk about anyway. They also do extensive research to ensure the quality and integrity of the products they promote. The topic of AI and its impact on content creation is also discussed. Mr. Who's the Boss expresses his concerns about AI voice cloning and the potential misuse of his voice. He believes that society is not prepared for the scale at which AI will impact us. The conversation touches on the potential risks and challenges of AI in content creation, such as dialect, terminology, and cultural nuances. The host and Mr. Who's the Boss talk about the future of the tech genre and the challenges of staying relevant. Mr. Who's the Boss believes that being established in the industry is advantageous, but it is harder for new creators to gain trust and recognition. He mentions that being known for entertainment is easier than being known for providing reliable tech advice. However, he acknowledges that the industry is constantly changing, and creators need to stay at the cutting edge to remain relevant. They also discussed the fear of missing out on opportunities and the constant trade-offs that creators face. Mr. Who's the Boss shares his struggle with making decisions about attending events or weddings due to the fear of missing out on potential video opportunities. He is working on creating a framework to make these decisions without regret or guilt. The conversation then explores the potential future directions for Mr. Who's the Boss's channel. He mentions the possibility of expanding into written content, such as newsletters. He believes that he can be an authority in the tech industry and provide valuable insights to his audience. The podcast concludes with a discussion about success and the goals for the future. Mr. Who's the Boss expresses his excitement about the upcoming year and the opportunity to focus on the bigger picture. He is looking forward to implementing structures that will allow him to delegate tasks and have a more strategic approach to content creation. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.